Hello and welcome back. In this session, we're going to look at collecting data. What I mean by collecting data is where the user has some input, and after that input, we process it and display that on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to multiply two numbers together. Ask the user to put in two numbers. We multiply them together and show the data. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to put on a text box. Now, a text box is what we'd use for collecting data, and I'll just make it about that size. Okay, and I'm going to take out the word text box, so it's actually blank, and I'm going to rename this to txt, first num, or num1, num1. Okay, this will be the first number I put in. I'm going to use a text block just to show as a label here. And in this one, I'm just going to put in the plus sign. The plus sign here. There. The plus sign. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger in font size. Just purely to... so it looks a little bit better there. Okay, sorry, instead of the plus sign, I should have used the multiplication sign. We want to multiply two together. Okay, so I'll just take out that plus and put in an asterisk. Okay, so that multiplied by that, so I need another text box. So I'll put in a text box. Okay, I can just resize that a little bit to move it up beside the other one. Okay, so make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and I'm going to rename this to txt num2, txt num2, and I'm going to take out the words text box from the text there. Okay, so we have one number multiplied by another. Okay, I'm going to put on a button. Okay, and I'm going to call this button calculate. Okay, so there's my button. The content will be calculate, and I'm going to call the button btn cal. btn cal. Okay, and lastly, I want to display the answer, so I'm going to display. Actually, I'm not paying too much attention to the layout of this, just for speed here, and I'll put on a text block here, and I'll call this again LBL display. Okay, I tend to call anything I'm displaying out display, so, and I'll take out the text here, and I'm just going to change a couple of things here. We'll change the font size up to 32, and we'll have the the font family. We'll just change the font family to Comic Sans. Comic Sans. Okay, and I'll just change the color as well to red. I'll just get my eyedropper there. Okay, that's more an orangey color. That'll do. There. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's my application laid out. I have again two text boxes. A couple of displays and a button. Okay, the event I want to have here is that when I click the button, whatever is inputted here and whatever is inputted here will be multiplied together to give me an answer here. So the event again will be the button click event, so I'm going to double click on the button. Okay, and you can see here up comes my CS page. Okay, so I'm just going to unpin that just to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. Just make it a little bit larger there. Okay. Okay, so what I want is make it a bit better again. There we go. Okay, so again, like the last time, again, I want to put it in here, so give yourself a bit of white space. And what I'm going to do here is, first of all, set a variable. Again, in C#, we must declare the data type. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to declare int, value type of int, and I'll just call this first number. Okay, and I'm going to set that to the value of whatever is typed into this text box here, which I've called txt num1. Okay, so again, I'll bring up the object, txt num1. Okay, and the contents of that, which is text. Okay, now you'll notice here that we'll get a little error here at the end. I will terminate the line. Okay, why am I getting an error underneath the txt num1.text? If I mouse over the error there, it will tell me that I cannot implicitly convert a string to int. So therefore, by default, whatever is typed in here is going to be a string. Okay, even though I type in the number 5, again C# will treat it as a string. And likewise, when I'm displaying something out here, it will display a string. Okay, so what I want to do now is go back here. Okay, and what I want to do is change the contents of whatever's being put in here into an int. Okay, so how I do that is I'm going to use there is a couple, I can use convert or parse, so I'm going to use parse. So if I go int dot and the properties of that, you can see here I have a method called parse. Okay, so I'll double click that. Again, every method will have a set of parentheses beside it. So what I want to do, so what int.parse method will do is any argument I put in here into the parentheses is going to be converted to an int. Okay, so what do I want converted is this here. Okay, so how I'll do that is I'll just take out that on there, and now what I have is first number. Again, the first number is an integer value. Okay, so we have whatever is being parsed in here. Again, it's going to be whatever I type in here is going to be parsed in as an int. So first number is now holding the first number variable is now holding an integer value, and I'll do exactly the same for second number. Okay, and that is going to be int.parse, and okay, I'll open a parenthesis, and what I'm putting in here is txt and num2. Sorry, the contents of num2, which is .text. I'll close that and terminate the line. So now, first number, the variables first number and second number are now holding integer values. And what I want to do now is I'm just going to declare another variable called int answer. Okay, and I'm going to set that to first number, okay, multiplied by the second number. Okay, so now the int answer now has the value, okay, of these two numbers multiplied together. Okay, I want to display that out. So again, if I go back here, I'm displaying it out in this text block, okay, which I've called LBL display. Okay, the contents of that is .text. Okay, and I'm going to set that to answer. Now you'll see I'll get a little error here. Answer, and if I terminate the line, okay, you'll see now I get the red squiggly line under answer, because what will happen here is LBL display.text is going to display out textual content, and answer is now the value of an int. So you can see here again it's just the reverse of what happened to me on the first line, that I cannot implicitly type convert int to string. Now there is a nice C# has built a nice little method in there called toString. So if I go to answer and the dot notation, you'll see here I have a method called toString. Okay, and again it's a method, so I've set a parentheses after it, and you can see now I have removed the red squiggly underline, and this should be now ready to run. So what I'll do is I'll just start up the emulator. Okay, and okay, so there's my project as it should see now. So let's see if this works. Okay, I'm going to put in 5. Okay, 5. Okay, multiplied by 7. Okay, and let's see now what happens when I click calculate. You can see 5 sevens are 35. Notice again the font is red and Comic Sans, just as I expected, because that's how I set up the one there. Okay, so again, in this way I'm collecting data directly from the user themselves. Now, what will happen here is, let's say I try that again. I'm going to get just to create an error. This is something we'll do in further lessons. Let's say I accidentally type in a 5. Okay, but I typed in 5, say M or X or G. It doesn't matter what. Okay, and if I click calculate, okay, you see again I'm going to run an error here, and if I just show you my code here, what's happened here is it cannot parse. This is a format exception. Okay, what it's saying here is it cannot turn 5a or 5g into an int value. Okay, so therefore I get an error. Now what I'm going to do here as we go forward in further lessons is what we'll use the try, parse and exceptions there, and this will help us sort out stuff like this. Okay, thank you for your attention.